I was born legally blind. I remember being in school 18. I kept bumping into things. I couldn't read the blackboard. I couldn't do what your typical 7-year-olds could do. My parents were not understanding at all about, being visually impaired. They kind of just thought I wasn't going to really be able to have much of a life. I've had my first child when I was 22. The Olmsted was very helpful because when I carried my first child, I was homeless. So they were very good at helping me to go ahead and learn how to look for apartments. 21 years old, I didn't know how to shop. I didn't even know how to go to the store and pick out deodorant. I remember having to teach them how to read. Again, that's where the Olmsted came in and gave me like large print books so that I can go ahead and read to the children, show me how to diaper the children. You guys gave us thermometers, talking thermometers, so that like if they had fevers. I'm very grateful to you guys. I really, really am. And now I have 2 healthy children who are just doing phenomenal. And I'm just grateful for you guys being able to be there and being in my life to help me be able to give them the life I didn't have.
I was working as a registered nurse. I was a pastor's wife, mother of 2, very active and busy all the time. Took in a patient and he was just talking to me, and as he spoke to me, I was taking his blood pressure. He spit in his conversation, and some spittle landed on my tongue, and I swallowed, which is an automatic response, and come to find out he had a virus, and that virus got into me, and a few weeks later I had meningitis, was admitted to the hospital, and on a Saturday I could see totally, on a Sunday my left eye was totally blind, and the following Thursday my right eye was totally blind, and the virus had eaten through my retina and my optic nerve. So it was complete. I remember the doctor came in and said, "You are completely and permanently blind." I felt like all I could do was sit in a chair. I couldn't walk to the kitchen. I couldn't walk to the restroom. I couldn't figure out how to put clothes on. To pour a glass of water, I'd miss the glass and water would go all over the counter and on the floor. Any task that I did that is so menial, just that we take for granted, turned into a major obstacle and proof that I'm no good. And that was kind of the psychological thing that I went through. I'm defective, I'm no good, why even bother? That's when the Olmsted would come over and they'd show me little things like changing the sheets on the bed. The first time I did it took 45 minutes. And you're so exhausted from nothingness that you don't even feel like doing anything else. And I remember just being encouraged, okay, find the corner. This tag usually goes in the lower right or the upper left. And little tips that they would show me, and that was such an accomplishment to get the bed made. I'm here, I'm alive, there's purpose in my life. And although it's not the same journey that I was on, this journey is exciting.
My parents learned at about 4 or 5 months that there was something different about me. There was something wrong with my eyesight. What do we do to make sure that he can fit in? Will he be able to go to a regular, public school and fit in the classroom? Because my parents want him to treat me like any other child, but they weren't sure how exactly to do that. So that's when I really was connected with Olmsted. I didn't come into this world with sight, so therefore adapting to it was something I just had to get used to. And it was, something that was a necessity very early on, right from the beginning. Well, ultimately, Olmsted has made a huge difference in my life in many ways, but really the preschool was where my parents and myself as well were introduced originally to what is now Olmsted. Learning how to use a cane, learning how to navigate and increase my mobility in an independent way. Looking back on it, Olmsted prepared me in a big way for the career I have today.
I was actually at a wedding, and I left the wedding, and I had a heart attack right in the waiting room of the hospital. I was in a coma for 2.5 weeks. I woke up and my body was fully functioning, but started to realize that I couldn't see. While I was at the hospital, my wife had talked to the Olmsted Center for Sight, and they started to share that there would be some assistance available. Along comes Desiree Ann, and I kind of resisted the cane because I think maybe subconsciously it was really admitting that I was blind. It's because of the support I have got from this organization of Olmsted, because I look back now, I mean, the thing, without it, I'm sitting home alone, and I don't think anybody wants to sit home alone.